Friends, gather round and let's talk about a proposal so bold, so audacious, it could only be birthed in the digital age, the $5,000 Doge dividend stimulus check. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't some meme-fueled fever dream. It's an actual policy idea gaining traction, promising to put a cool $5 grand in the pockets of eligible taxpayers. The pitch? We're swimming in a sea of government waste, and it's time to drain the swamp and give the people back their hard-earned cash. Now, before you rush out to buy a solid gold dog bone, let's dig into the nitty-gritty. The Doge dividend hinges on the idea that by trimming the fat from government spending, we can generate trillions in savings. This money, proponents argue, can then be redistributed directly to the people. Sounds simple, right? Well, as with most things in politics, the devil is in the details. The Doge dividend's funding mechanism relies heavily on a resurrected government agency, the Department of Efficiency. This department, first proposed during the Trump administration, aims to identify and eliminate wasteful spending across the federal government. Think of it as Marie Kondo, but instead of tidying up closets, they're decluttering the federal budget. According to Doge dividend enthusiasts, this department could save us a whopping $2 trillion. That's trillion with a T, folks. However, critics argue that this number is wildly optimistic, bordering on delusional. Even Elon Musk, a vocal supporter of the proposal, admits that $1 trillion in savings is a more realistic target. And let's be honest, $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. Now let's talk about who gets a piece of this hypothetical pie. Unlike previous stimulus checks, the Doge dividend wouldn't be available to everyone. To qualify, you'd need to be a taxpayer who files a federal income tax return. This means that millions of Americans who rely on Social Security or other forms of non-taxable income would be left out in the cold. This eligibility requirement has sparked heated debate about fairness and equity. Supporters argue that it makes sense to reward taxpayers who contribute directly to the government's coffers. Critics, however, counter that it disproportionately benefits wealthier Americans while excluding those who are most in need of financial assistance. So what are the chances of this Doge dividend dream becoming a reality? Well, let's just say it's facing an uphill battle. Congress would need to approve the proposal, and right now, there's little appetite for another round of stimulus spending. Republicans, in particular, are wary of adding to the national debt, and many view the Doge dividend as a fiscally irresponsible gimmick. Even if the Doge dividend were to somehow overcome these political hurdles, its long-term impact remains unclear. Supporters argue that it would provide a much-needed boost to the economy. Critics, however, worry that it could fuel inflation and exacerbate existing inequalities. Ultimately, the Doge dividend is a gamble, and it's one that policymakers seem hesitant to take.